the objective!
Ladies and gentlemen, I am PiDDiT. Today I'm introducing you to the first episode in the series that I'm going to be calling PiDDiT's Milestones. I'm going to be continuing this when Battlefield 3 comes out. The milestone that I'm working on tonight is my kill-death ratio becoming positive. And my ratio is scrolling at the bottom of the screen as of this recording. That's not a milestone for some of you. I realize this. I know everyone out there is a beast player and I'm a scrub. But I will get to that in a second. I wanted to take advantage of this video because I actually do bring that positive in this video, and I wanted to throw in my 2 cents about KDR because I have kind of a different opinion about KDR as the two philosophies out there that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. But before I get into that, let me go ahead and set up this video. As you can see, I had to fast forward through a lot of this. I'm playing Conquest on Panama Canal, and there's a lot of fast forwarding in this because there's a lot of running around and not a lot of action in this Conquest game. I started in on a friend of mine named Fallen Center, and he and the team already had about a 50-ticket lead over the other team, which was not coming out of their base much. So it made for kind of a boring game, but there were a few things that were interesting. I was actually working in this game. I'm working on 2 different milestones. One is my KDR, and the other, as you'll see here in a second, is my mine insignia, or my mine achievement of, 100 kills with mines. It's just not something that I use very often, so I don't have a whole lot of mine kills, and so I started working on it I guess about a month ago, and I have about 10 more. I didn't even get a kill for that. I was so mad, and there was another frustrating moment here with mines later in the game. But I didn't come to talk about mines and that achievement. I came to talk about kill death, and I know this kill death ratio, and I know this topic has been almost beaten to death, if not beaten to death and resurrected and then beaten to death again. But my opinion is a little different, so I want to talk about my opinion. And my opinion really has more to do with my own experience with the game, and not so much about everyone else's experience. But let me give you a little backstory, and then I'll go into my opinion. When I first started playing this game, I didn't really have anybody on my friends list. As a matter of fact, I didn't have anybody on my friends list. I got this game in September of last year, 2010, so it had already been out for a while. And I knew people that played, but they all played other versions of the game, whether it was PS3 or PC. So I just didn't have anybody on my friends list that played Xbox. And when I first started playing, I was playing strictly with randoms, and or as some people like to call them, blueberries. I love that name for them. A friend of mine and I came up with another term for them because they're like AIDS. We call them squades because they're squad mates that are like AIDS. So squades is another term. But anyway, I was playing basically with squades or by myself, and I just wasn't very good. The truth is, I was terrible. I think my kill death was about a 0.5 or a 0.6, and I was one of those guys that everybody hates, and including myself. I was rocking the USAS or rocking the Sega, and I was basically putting on a ghillie suit and running to the objective with my Sega, arming the objective, and then camping the stairs, waiting for somebody so I could get at least one kill that game, And that works, but your luck runs out. After everyone figures out what you're doing, people are gunning for you. So I was not having a good time playing the game because I was dying a lot, and I wasn't able to work as a team with anyone else. So that's about the time I started trying to figure out how to play better. I was not good. As you can see, my aim is suffering even still in this game. But I was not good, and I didn't play with anyone that was good, so it was hard for me to get better. It was really hard, and that's about the time I started YouTubing Battlefield games and watching how other people were playing. And I also just actively got online and started finding people to play with, and I was just pretty unabashed about my approach. I joined a clan who I'm no longer with, but a bunch of really good guys, and some of them were really good players. Some of them were good players and a-holes about it, but they didn't last long. Anyway, so that's, I started playing with some of these guys, and again, when you play with people that you know are good, that play the objective well, they get a lot of kills every game, they're always at the top of the leaderboard. It's like the black velvet, diamonds on top of black velvet concept. I mean, if you thought you were bad before, when you're being contrasted with these other guys who are really good, it makes you feel even worse about yourself. So I had to give myself some sort of a challenge in order to keep playing this game, because it was getting to a point where I just wasn't enjoying playing because I knew I was just going to stink up the screen. So what I did was I got online, found there are a couple different sites out there that have stats. One of them is statsverse.bfbc2.com, I think it is, and the other is bfbcs.com. I'll put links up. But anyway, I was looking at those stats and noticed that there were a couple things that I really needed to work on. And one of the things from my experience playing the game that I knew I needed to work on was winning gun battles. I was not winning gun battles. I was using shotguns, and I wasn't very accurate, so I needed to challenge myself in a lot of different ways. And the thing that I noticed is that my kill-death ratio was a good measuring stick for not my success in game, but my success of improving on all these other fronts, like playing the objective, getting to an objective one. You have to be able to navigate your way through other players. You have to be able to win gun battles to get to an objective. So I wanted to be. I don't know what I was doing, trying to run through that container there. But anyway, in order to get to an objective, you have to be able to kill other players. In order to defend an objective, you have to kill other players, and you have to survive, that translates into a kill-death ratio right there. And there are other things, working on accuracy with guns, or working on hip firing, like I just did, which I love the hip fire on the UMP, by the way. Just working on all kinds of things, being faster on the draw versus the other guy, just all kinds of stuff that translated into kill death. And I'm not talking about an in-game kill death ratio. I'm talking about overall. And so I started watching it, and I started paying attention to how well my kill death was improving. And I think I said this, but I've had this game since September of last year, so it's been a year now. I started off for the first 4 months just absolutely terrible at this game, and I've worked once I started, I think I started around January, February, really working hard on getting better. And like I said, some of you guys I know are beasts already, but it's taken me a lot of work to make up the deficit that I started with. This game was from August 28th or 29th. And see, that's an example of losing a gun battle that I shouldn't have lost, because I was out in the open. That's another thing I've been working on, is different running routes, running more covertly and things like that. But anyway, I could track my stats on these websites, and I can do it in game to an extent, but I can track win-loss, and I can track other certain stats on weapons a little bit better on these websites that I mentioned earlier. And they also have a history. And they'll graph your history of your improvements on certain ratios and certain things like that. So I've been tracking that, and kill death has been an important one, because it's given me a good indicator of how well I'm doing. Like in the last Oh, I don't know. I'll probably at the end of this video I'll put up a screenshot from one of these websites to see what it is in the last few months or so. But my kill-death ratio since I started doing this has gone from, and sometimes it goes negative every once in a while. I have bad nights and things like that. But I'm not worried about it because it's not my objective in playing this game. It's an indicator, and it is an important indicator to me because a lot of different factors of how I play the game go into kill-death ratio. But as you'll see at the end of this video, it has gone from a pretty terrible kill-death ratio to getting a lot better. But anyway, that's the end of the game, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my rant. If you are worried about your kill-death ratio, make sure it's for the right reasons, and don't try and pad your KDR to pretend to be somebody that you're not or better than you really are. It's all about contributing to your teammates and helping get good wins and fun games. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, ask questions, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.